Hello, thank you all for being here, and one more time, a round of applause for the Harris Quartet from Music Institute. These students are supported by wonderful organizations and individuals like William Blair, like many of the individuals in this room, and it is such an honor to have them here representing the power of community collaboration. Thank you. Thank you all for coming to celebrate our 10th anniversary and launch in the San Francisco Bay Area through the acquisition of 2 great magazines there. We are honored to have you all here tonight. Enormous thanks to William Blair for sponsoring this celebration. Isn't this venue stunning? And don't they put on a good party? Make It Better thinks of our work as supporting the very best local businesses, nonprofits, and thought leaders while growing a powerful network which connects them to each other and to our affluent, well-educated audience. This ensures maximum impact for all participants. You, this group, right here, right now, is proof of that. Thank you. Creating maximum impact for successful businesses, investors, and nonprofits is exactly what William Blair has done in Chicago for 80 years. We've only been doing our work for 10 years, and to have earned the opportunity and the honor of being here with William Blair, who's 80 years old, creating great virtuous circles, is truly an honor. Thank you, thank you. A special thanks for this to one person who's no longer here, Dick Kiphart, who was really a mentor to me, and his wife, who still is a mentor to me, because she says, blessings rain down, and I just pay it forward as fast as I can. And that's sort of exactly what Make It Better, with the concept behind Make It Better, is about. Thank you so much to Ned Janata, Chairman Emeritus here, John Zindel, who is the CFO, Laura Linger, Joe Tabbitt, Laura Coy, and Isadora Lagos for tonight too. Speaking of Laura Coy, her passion is inspiring the next generation of professionals and philanthropists, and she learned this multi-generational approach from the best, her father, who led the John Deere Foundation. He taught her that we can do well by doing good, which is the penultimate Make It Better sensibility. Please welcome Laura Coy.
Thank you, Susan. You know, I gotta say, this is the power of connections, because this event tonight was conceived over lunch that Susan and I had about 6 months ago, and we made it happen and we made it better. So, thank you. A very special shout out to the Make It Better team. You guys have accomplished so much over these past 10 years, and congratulations on that. We're very proud to host tonight. You know, this is our new global headquarters. So to Susan's point, we have a very long history of being part of Chicago, but this is also a nod to our future and our future generations of employees and philanthropists and our global network that we have now created through our work. You know, as I look around the room and even looked at the guest list a little bit earlier, I have to admit I was pretty overwhelmed when I see the names of civic leaders and philanthropists and colleagues that are part of the fabric of this society here tonight, dedicated to making a difference to our communities. It makes me profoundly proud. It makes me proud to do my job and inspire that next generation of philanthropists through the work that we all do. I do want to thank the former and current leaders of William Blair, as Susan did, and especially Ned Janata, who's here tonight. You know, I was teasing him a little bit ago. I said, you know, none of this would have been possible without the visionary quest of our leaders, as well as the support that they've given us as professionals and employees to make our communities better. And I just really want to thank Ned for that. We've got a long agenda, so I'm gonna let our employees kind of speak for themselves. We have a new employee engagement and community engagement video that we've produced. I want to thank all of the William Blair employees who are here tonight. You are the heart and the soul of what we do in our communities, whether it is Rocio and her amazing team putting this event together, or the leaders like Ned who are making everything happen for us. We're all part of this together. We're making connections, we're making impact, and hopefully you will enjoy this brief video that we put together to talk about some of the great work we've been doing in our communities.
$10 million and a lot of powerful, positive connections. Congratulations on that. We are also most grateful for the sponsorship support of Northwestern University School of Education and Social Policy, represented here tonight by David Figlio, Jeff Hammond, and Nicole Pinkert. The Illinois Holocaust Museum of Education Center, represented by Marcy Larson. Sidley Austin, represented by Julie Allen, and Honey Skinner, who came all the way from Florida for this. Thank you, Honey. Kirkland and Ellis, represented by Scott Falk. Visit Lake Geneva, represented by Joe Tominaro. Again, these organizations and individuals represent the very best in the Chicago area, and we are honored to collaborate with all of them. Make It Better co-founders Mindy Fauntleroy and Julie Chernoff are here. Please stand up. Also our dining editor, and everybody loved our food content, so thank you, Julie. If you work for Make It Better, also please stand up now, because all of these individuals do extraordinarily good work, and the impact of what they have done and where we are today, it's a team effort. So Team Make It Better, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Every one of these individuals are great. They embody our tagline, Powerful, Positive Connections. We're grateful to the Music Institute of Chicago and the People's Music School for the music by some of their most talented musicians. Please, one more time, thank you, Higher Middle Quartet. And the People's Music School they have been particularly innovative, forward-thinking, partners, and they take such great advantage of our media sponsorships. And in fact, with their hackathon this coming weekend, they're helping understand how to grow better letter connections and support in the Bay Area already with that. So, and they're going to put on some great Latin jazz for us after this presentation. So thank you, Peoples. Thanks to Juances Tequila and Alberto Roja for the craft cocktails. Alberto created, yeah, right? Talk about Latin. Goes well with the music. Alberto created wants us to celebrate a culture and a country that he loves. And that is very similar to how we launched Make It Better, to celebrate and connect a community of big-hearted, smart, and amazing people that we love. So thank you, Wansis. Most importantly, last but not least, thank you to my husband, Nick. Nick, where are you? Over there. Unwavering support over a long decade. I didn't have gray hairs when it started, and he has always been my #1 fan. So thank you. And thanks to my daughter, Skady, oldest daughter, Skady, who's here, Skady, and son, Nick, who said he was going to be here, who are here representing their own successful businesses and the causes that they're passionate about. And I am so proud of that. But also thanks to the rest of my sprawling family, which is spread, it's sort of the photo in the lobby of Tokyo and London and San Francisco, that represents where all these people live now, so they're all important. So who else is in this room with you tonight? And what are we going to do together? The answers are actually very simple. You. Every single one of you are positive, powerful connectors, and the solutions to more of the difficult problems in our world than you currently imagine are in this room too. We are going to collaborate together, and ideally, we are going to inspire you to leave this room with enthusiasm for our 1-5-10 amplification strategy, which I'm going to teach you shortly. To be even more precise, you include Chicago's most thoughtful philanthropists, representatives of family foundations, a philanthropic powerhouse who has come all the way from South Africa, Liz Stain, please stand up. She is representing the Stain Family Foundation, and this woman, I'm not exaggerating, when Nelson Mandela was released from prison, she looked at her entrepreneur husband and said, "We have to help. He's going to come live with us. You're going to put the corporate jet at his disposal to do whatever he needs to do, and we're going to help him." And it worked. CEOs, executives in charge of corporate social responsibility, strategic communications, marketing, or foundation giving are here. So our leaders, board members, or champions of some of our most impactful regional and national nonprofits like the Red Cross. Champions for excellent international NGO collaborations like the University of Chicago's Center for Global Health and the Harvard Graduate School of Education are here. And Chicago's great cultural institutions, which famously provide community outreach and education to underserved populations. And I think they represent the model that needs to be replicated across the country, are here too. Most importantly, representatives from smaller businesses or nonprofits that Make It Better has worked with through these 10 years are also here, and they can attest to the power of our and the impact of the virtuous circle building that we facilitate. And so we are so grateful that they're here too. Pick a problem, any type of problem that needs to be solved, and there is someone in this room with knowledge about and strong connections to an important program that is already making thoughtful inroads to the solution. I'd love to do just one more special call out, and this is to the Metropolitan Planning Council. And Bob Chapman, who's a CEO in this room, once said, "Susan, you really should, like Make It Better needs to pay attention to the Metropolitan Planning Council. They're doing great things." And we met with them and said, let's collaborate around getting the word out around their Rivers lab and all their efforts to grow support for cleaning up more of the river and developing more of it. And that led to an article that was in a magazine a year ago, that's at the top, which then led to our very successful water issue with the Shad Aquarium on it, and Jennifer Farrell from the Shed's here. Which then, because we think imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, we take credit for the fact that Chicago Magazine in September did the Rivers issue. And Mary Sue Barrett, who was not able to be with us, just hosted an amazing, their annual fundraiser where she said, here are the 5 things that everybody could do to make Chicago a better place, and she was spot on. So That's an example of what working with Make It Better means, and we are so proud of that. It's for those of you who know the story of Make It Better's birth and how we got to this moment, please bear with me while I give a Cliff Notes version of it. It is not unusual for people to look at me and say, Susan, why in the world did you start such an unusual publication? And the answer is actually simple. It's what I'm supposed to do. And about 14 years ago, when I didn't have any gray hair, and my oldest son, Nick, had gone off to college, and my youngest was in about 3rd grade, I thought, oh, I've got a lot of energy, and I need to figure out my what's next as my nest empties. And I thought, oh, I have the opportunity to practice what I've been preaching to my kids. Find what you love, and the rest will follow. And that actually launched me on about 2 years of, oh my God, what do I love? Ooh, I love to organize a lot of moving pieces. I like to connect good people and good ideas. I love to write, and I love the power of a good story. And then I read Katharine Graham's autobiography, and that was like, aha, I can do all the things I love and be a publisher. So now I have to figure out how to do that. So I got myself to the Media Management Center at Northwestern University, and sort of working with them, ended up developing the business model, which was pay attention to online, because online is going to be the future. Identify an audience and do massive research around that audience, where they go for their information and who wants to advertise to them. And I thought, okay, I better start with what I know. And what I knew then was North Shore moms. So we identified North Shore mothers and reached out to a group that included Mindy. And Mindy was actually the first person I went to, because she's the yin to my yang. She's highly organized and gets it done, and I'm sort of, the creative vision. And I didn't know Julie Chernoff at the time, but many people, she was on the Evanston School Board, anything Julie touches succeeds, and people kept saying, you should connect with Julie. And we called ourselves the Kitchen Cabinet, and as this volunteer group, we launched a little website called makeitbetter.net on May 1st, 2007. And we called it Make It Better because that group that we had identified, women, high household income, well-educated, mothers, own their own home, often own a second home. That is what 92% of them will change their brand loyalty if they think it will make the world a better place. And by the way, they're also, they make it better for their kids and for their spouses and for their favorite nonprofits and for everybody else, and if there's a little bit of time left over for themselves. And we didn't know this, but boy, was that a powerful, demographically powerful group. And fast forward a decade, here we are with our multi-platform publishing company that's really well ensconced in the Chicago area and about to launch in San Francisco. And there's a timeline of everything we did, and when I look at that, I am absolutely exhausted. And I'm also embarrassed to admit that there are things not included in that we tried that were huge failures, like e-commerce. So we're still going, and we have honed to core what's great and needs to grow, and that is what you are about to demonstrate here tonight. Another thing that happened as we were growing along the way is the rise of the values of social impact, social entrepreneurism, impact investing, and everything that relates to maximum value for dollar or hour or experience. And that has really helped contribute to our success too. And by the way, we started with women. And turns out that right now is a really powerful time in terms of women and money. We're at this point in history where, for the first time ever, there are more female millionaires in the United States than males. Something like 70% of $40 trillion of wealth that's going to transfer in the next couple of decades is going to go to women just for sheer demographic reasons. The growing impact of women is unmistakable. Money is power, and women are going to have more and more of it. And so it kind of helped that we had that as an audience. And the other thing that happened is that the children that these women 10 years ago were raising have now become millennials who expect mission and meaning and connection and a sustainability and the opportunity to serve others in everything they do, every dollar they spend, every job they have. And I'm actually really bullish on the future because of who the millennials are. Emma Watson, Emma Watson is a perfect example of millennials. Follow her Instagram, which our millennials are all doing, and you will see that every post relates to connecting back to somebody made this. It's great in this community. There is luxury, but it's luxury with meaning. Luxury lifestyle has become meaningful lifestyle. And everything she does always connects to a nonprofit wherever she is. She particularly likes it's called the Book Fairy, and that's a picture of her. She just delivers books wherever she goes in the world. It is relatively common knowledge that Warren Buffett invests like a woman, meaning that he uses cautious metrics and invests for the long run. This combination of using common sense and high standards to talk about money, because that's what women expect. They want, give it to me in straight English, and it better add up or I don't want to go there. And including social impact and investment advice and everything else means that Make It Better values are actually transforming finance and investing and businesses everywhere. So Make It Better grew by giving away media sponsorships to every little nonprofit. And we no longer do that they asked. We just couldn't keep doing that. But we learned who was really going to take advantage of it and how to evaluate nonprofits like a venture philanthropist would. And so we launched, in order to not say no to all the nonprofits who came knocking on the door, we said, we are starting our Make It Better Foundation and giving out Make It Better Philanthropy Awards each year, which is the most impactful kind of content of all. It's a great video that brings your mission to life. And it's a great article. And we have two of the winners, Bernie's Book Banks and Nellie from the Safe Haven. One won the first year, one won the second year, and they're going to speak a little bit about that. But also, most of the nonprofits we work with, just with regular media sponsorships, would come back and say, oh my God, that was so helpful. Like, it wasn't just we raised awareness, we got more sponsors because Make It Better was our sponsor, and we could say, oh, it's all this great online connection, and we sold more tickets. We always sold out. So we want to give the five nonprofits who are in this room the opportunity to come up and just give you one fun fact about their work with Make It Better. So come on up. Nellie, the Safe Haven, Jennifer Barrel Shed, Bernie's Bank. Brian, thank you so much. Marcy Larson, and Michael Herman from the Cole Children's Museum. This is short, 1 sentence.
So, fun fact, 3,201,407 children, parents, teachers, educators, grandparents coming through the doors of the Cole Children's Museum during our partnership with Make It Better. They put us on the map. They help us to continue to be on the map and to reach out to new people in our community. It is an immense impact that we continue to have with their partnership.
I think our fun fact really has to do with partnership as well, and they bring to light editorially all the good things that we're trying to do for our community, including the humanitarian dinner and our women's leadership committee and our young professionals committee. And then what we get in return is access to a really engaged, passionate audience that has a desire to learn and really can engage with what we want to do. And I really look forward to the future as we continue to grow together. They've just launched a new set of magazines in the West Coast. We've just launched a new permanent exhibit. If you haven't seen the Take a Stand Center, come, it's really amazing. And we look forward to continuing to grow together.
Sparking compassion, curiosity, and conservation for the aquatic animal world. That's what the Shed Aquarium is all about. And I would like to acknowledge the water issue because that was really, truly meaningful. And I believe that that was your idea, Susan. So thank you for that. Michelle? Whoever's idea it was amazing. Thank you. But my fun fact, it is. And to demonstrate the team effort, I would like to show you that this little fun fact is a sea otter that was rescued in California in Marin County. And this poor little sea otter didn't have a home. Its mother abandoned it. It was crying, 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 and a jogger was running by and heard the cries. And they notified officials at the Marine Mammal Center out in Sausalito. Those officials then deemed it unreleasable because a sea otter has to learn how to clean itself and eat and feed and do everything from its mother. And if it didn't have a mother, it would really surely die. So this sea otter named Ellie is now at the Shed Aquarium for a very wonderful life that our trainers are giving it, but featured in Make It Better.
Hi everybody, my name is Nellie Vasquez-Roland, and first of all I want to congratulate you on your 10 years. I can't believe how time's flown. I was one of the first honorees that they gave out back in 2012, and I learned something very interesting. Was the day that they came and gave the award was on November 15th. Turns out it was Philanthropy Day. Philanthropy Day is my birthday. I never knew it was Philanthropy Day. I'm like, oh, how appropriate. So in honor of this week and what we're celebrating is the fact that we have military veterans. And AC Haven's the largest provider of housing and services for military veterans in the country, I believe. We housed about 650 military veterans last year. We house them, we feed them, we transition them into jobs and into permanent housing. And we have about 40 developments throughout the Chicagoland area. We are expanding our footprint now at the invitation of HUD and the VA into Indiana. So we're super excited about the fact that when Make It Better came to give us this award, it's actually the year that the VA moved into our headquarters and decided to build a community resource center right in our building because the veterans were coming to a safe haven. They weren't going to the VA, so they needed to come where the vets were. And every day we have in our headquarters 75 veterans that are in crisis, but getting their lives back on track. But with the collective efforts of the VA, of our organization, and all of the supporters, you know, and whatever Make It Better touches gets better. So thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Brian Floriani, and I'm the founder and executive director of Bernie's Book Bank. First of all, I applaud anybody that's willing to fail. So congratulations on that, or you never get better without that. And all the great folks that are up on this screen who are doing incredible work in your community. It's one thing to be successful, it's another thing to be significant. And I think Make It Better and the folks that are in this room, including William Blair and Laura Coy, are examples of folks who have decided to take your success and become significant. And so I just thank you for your willingness to take a leap of faith and to do that and make your life about that. In 2014, when we received the Philanthropy Award, Bernie's Book Bank, if you don't know, we collect, process, and distribute children's books and serve children all over Chicagoland. At that time, we were serving 80,000 children with 12 quality books a year, and it distributed just over 2 million books. Today, we are now serving 330,000 children all over Chicagoland with 12 quality books a year from birth through 6th grade. And one of the biggest gifts that you can give somebody, or somebody that has a vision of something they want to do for other people, is to create more awareness for them. And if you have a great vision and a mission, with a little bit of awareness, you can go a long way. And so I thank you for choosing us, and hopefully we continue to make you proud. Thank you so much.
Thank you to the 5 of you for great testimonial. And again, it's a team effort. It's every person at Make It Better and every person who joins our network. This is a powerful, positive network, including William Blair. Thank you. And Northwestern. as we decided that we really wanted to grow globally, we ended up working with two different experts that I'd like to tell you a little bit about. One is Avanish Kaushik, who is Google's guru around the SEO, and he really is a legend, and we were actually given the gift of time with him because Google thought what we were doing was kind of cool. And the advice he gave us was, you are truly changing the world, but you need to make your social impact even more apparent. Every article, everything you do needs to highlight that. And then we also worked with Brian Provost, who was not yet with CBS. It just coincidentally, he's now the Vice President of Search for CBS. And he studied our website for 2 months and came back and said, you have a gold mine. Internet gold mine of the things that Google trusts the most, which is links from trusted sources back to your website. And the sources that Google trusts the most are nonprofits, universities, governments, and other media. And he said, just keep doing what you're doing. Every article that you publish should have links to at least 5 trusted resources who are likely to link back and share with their network of at least 10, or hopefully 10,000. And that became our 1-5-10 amplification strategy. One article, 5 thought leaders that others would trust, who would link back and share with their network. 10 million, let's just make it about 10 million. And the more we worked with this, the more we fell in love with it. And the faster we actually see impact and change too. And so what I'd like to do right now is have each of you in your tables. We had everybody very intentionally, if you're at a table without a lot of people, consolidate so that we get 10 people, we fill all the chairs. And we're going to have each of you break up into groups for about 15 or 20 minutes. You each came here with one cause that you really wanted to champion, and I'd like for you to introduce yourselves to each other and talk about that one cause that you're most passionate about, and what the 5 sources are. Nonprofit, university, governments, other media, other trusted brands, that you would want Make It Better to write about in an article as we are championing your cause. And please listen to each other and think about, oh, maybe there's a way I could help too. And I think that you'll get a sense of those unusual connection building opportunities, which is what the online world is about too. So I'll talk to you at the end of about 15 minutes. Enjoy the conversation. Okay.
And connecting with families. So that's our big goal.
Everyone, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed connecting yourselves, and I hope that you connect with everyone else in the room. And of course, I didn't do it exactly right. My staff said, Susan, you forgot some really important ones. And they're right. So I would really like to go back to the particular power of our Philanthropy Awards. And some of the opportunities that have grown in partnership with the others who are the sponsors of those, including the finalists and the winners of the Philanthropy Awards end up earning free or reduced tuition opportunities at Kellogg School of Management's nonprofit management program. And the CBS Channel 2, who's been a fantastic collaborator, also helps the winners receive additional coverage too. And I understand that Chanel Ritchie from CBS was here earlier. She's still here, yay! Thank you, Chanel. We love our partnership with you. You would have seen a slide earlier that had a picture of Cheryl Berman right there. So when Make It Better was just this little idea, and I went to Mindy and I said, I have this idea, would you help me launch it? And we said, okay, let's start a website. And somebody said, okay, what's the logo for your website? And we were actually going to hire, somebody who was a graphic artist who lived in the neighborhood. We're going to was really a mother not doing very much work. And then I thought, you know, there's this woman who lives up the street. I don't know her very well, but I know that she's pretty good at these things. So I literally walked up the street to my new neighbor, Cheryl Berman, who at the time was chairman and chief creative officer of Leo Burnett. Cheryl, are you still here? You were here earlier. And said, I have this idea, I'm launching this, and she's like, I love this. This is what I'm trying to get all the major advertisers to focus on. You need to market to women. They're the ones who spend the money. They're the ones who make all the decisions. And so she really dug into helping us with our brand, and then spent a whole year of her life, you know, when she was unemployed, just doing nothing but bringing this band to life. So she was spot on, and we're so deeply grateful that her DNA is embedded in Make It Better too. And if you've ever watched the show Mad Men, Cheryl is the person who the young woman who sort of is like an assistant sitting off to the side is based on. And that, you know, the assistant kept growing in power until she was running the firm. So thank you, Cheryl. You were here. I don't see you now. I hope you had fun connecting and learning around your table and thinking about, Honey Skinner, if I could get you to do what you just did one more time, but I won't make you. But she was like, she looked at the list, she says, this is what I care about, this is the university, this is the media, this is the trusted band. And if we all did that, and then we all pay attention to what the other person at the table cared about, the power of change even faster. I hope that when you leave, you keep connecting with each other, because we have more good food and more drink, and we can grow those connections. But also, one last fun housekeeping. The Peninsula Hotel has donated a weekend in one of their grand premier rooms with breakfast. And so if you just take the time to fill out this card, give us your name and your one fun fact about the cause that you just championed, the nonprofit that you like, and put it in this pretty Make It Better orange basket. We will draw it and someone will win it tonight. I think that it's time to end the party. End the presentation so that we can get back to the party. Too much me, not enough of you having fun. I would like to do one last call out. Again, we've been celebrating good and connection growing here. We are going to launch in San Francisco officially in the spring with an event that will be, you know, the bookend to what we did tonight. And I would love for you all to meet Nikki Wood. Nikki, stand on up. On your table. And so what Nikki has actually launched and grown multiple successful regional magazines. And when you see what she has done with Marin, you will understand that just by following her model here in Chicago with our print magazine, we're going to get better in print. And they are going to get better with online and events and network building. So we think we already have a really powerful collaboration launch, and we're really excited for the future. Thank you, Nikki. Cheryl, you were gone, and I just given you a call out. Stand up and say, I'm Cheryl. So the one last slide. Oh, yes, thank you. This is coincidentally to the opportunity to start working with Marin Magazine. Unfortunately, California fires started, and there were a lot of them in wine country. And we started getting emails from the staff at Marin Magazine saying, oh my God, this is so terrible. We have a lot of friends and their homes are burning up and the need is so great. We wish there was something we could do. And we said, there is. We can do a similar fundraiser online to grow relief funds through the Red Cross, who is just an awesome partner, and with CBS too. We actually did a fundraiser that was a matching grant opportunity for hurricanes that was a 2-for-1. Every dollar that was donated by somebody here was matched 2-for-1 here. CBS picked that up as part of their telethon on behalf of the Red Cross. We raised $150,000 for hurricane relief. Because Nikki is so highly regarded by other publishers of regional magazines, specifically Napa Sonoma Magazine and Diablo Magazine, which is sort of represents the East Bay area, we now have a matching grant opportunity. You know, donate now, $1 here, it gets matched by $1, and these 5 publications are all promoting it right now. So we're teaching them about networking and growing good with that. And so here's my call to action. 1, 5, 10. Think about how powerful you are. Think about whatever that thing is that makes you passionate and excited, and share your connections, hopefully to make it better, but if not, lots of media companies. My goal is to get as many media companies as possible championing the most effective nonprofits, because we change the world faster, especially if we network in governments and great universities and the trusted brands like William Blair. So subscribe. If you haven't done so, subscribe to our Better Letter, our email newsletter that's really awesome. Follow our online, but most of all, just share your passions with the world and online so the rest of the world can see what you care about. Now, have drinks, have sweets, enjoy sweet music,